Today on the podcast, we are going to talk about testimonials, how to get them, what to do with them, and why you need them in your business. So join me for episode 98, all about testimonials. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Hey there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 98 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making me one of them. If you're a first-time listener, then hey, super welcome to you. If you're a return listener, then hey, super welcome back to you. I'm really happy to have you here. I am the host, Jen Donovan, and it's my job via this podcast, social media, and just about everywhere else I hang out to make your business life simpler. I'm a thought leader when it comes to marketing here in Australia and a marketing strategist for small businesses. I do this because I know that business can be lonely and hard and complicated, and look, it's rarely easy, but it should at least be simple, or at least simpler. So that's my commitment to you on the so-named Small Business Made Simple podcast. Today, we are going to talk about testimonials. It's something that I've actually found myself talking about quite a bit lately with both my mastermind clients and my one-to-one private coaching clients. They're those little pieces of gold that clients or customers give us that help us in all areas of our marketing to actually drive some sales. They make for fabulous Facebook ads. They're good to have on your website, of course, and we'll talk about where you should put them on your website a little bit later. But they're also good for our soul, knowing or reading how we've actually helped others in their journey of business or life, or just making them a little bit happy, depending on what you are actually selling. So no matter what business you're in, you should be actively collecting testimonials, and frankly, actively giving them too, because if we truly want them, then we actually need to start giving them. And of course, if we start giving them, they'll probably show up for us more as well. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We all know it's much more powerful for someone to tell others how great we are than for us to sing our own songs. So we know testimonials are important, but the problem is, while most of us have a long list of amazingly satisfied clients and customers, very few of us take the time to actually have a strategy around asking a customer for a testimonial. So we need to create a habit of asking, because if you struggle to get them now and you're not asking, then imagine what it will be like if you do start asking for them. So biggest question, how do you ask for a testimonial? Well, let's look at a scenario. So you're working with a client and they're thrilled with your work and they're experiencing some fabulous outcomes, and in fact the exact outcomes they wanted from you when they started working with you. They tell you verbally that they're really happy and you've helped them enormously, and they can't believe what they've achieved with your help. They've paid the money, you've delivered the value, everyone has a smile, everyone is satisfied, and everyone walks away from the arrangement feeling really happy. It's a true win-win. But it's feedback like this that is awesome, and it's also the exact time that you need to ask for a testimonial, because at this point, only you and your client know how awesome you are, and we want to tell the masses. So You just don't want any old testimonial though. You want a very specific type of testimonial. And the specific type is the type of one that makes the next person take action and want to work with you too, or at least plants that seed that they need to work with you if they want to experience the same outcomes as the person's testimonial that they've just read. So, how do you start getting testimonials after, of course, you've listened to this podcast? So here's some step-by-steps. Step 1, make a list of 3 to 5 clients who you know would be really happy to give you a testimonial. Step 2, call each one of them and say, "Hi," client's name, "I'm putting together some new marketing materials and I'd love to include your testimonial. Would it be okay if I wrote down what I've heard you say and send it to you? You can feel free to adjust it or change it as much as you like." Now, calling is better than emailing or messaging, but you do what form of communication that you would normally do with the clients on your list. So if picking up the phone is foreign to the particular client that you would like the testimonial from, don't pick up the phone. If you would normally email them, email them. If you would normally DM them, DM them. But the point is, we want to ask if it's okay if we can send them a testimonial based on what they've told us through the conversations like the one earlier. Okay, so step 3 is write the testimonial for them. Never call a client and simply ask them to write a testimonial for you. This is the piece of gold I really, really, really want you to hear. Write it for them. Why? Well, because they won't know what to write. And we don't want to give them yet another task or make it their problem, because chances are these are busy people and you're just giving them another job to do, and we don't want to do that. And by asking them to write it, it will probably be significantly less to do with what you've done for them, but more about, how great you are and how friendly you are and how, trustworthy you are or something like that. It won't have the real desired outcomes that we're looking for, because remember, we want to use these things to make other people take action. So step 4, of course, is send them an email with the testimonial you wrote based on their verbal feedback. As long as it sounds like them and they really did say those nice things about you and they did experience that outcome you've written about, then you'll be likely to receive an email more or less straight back that says, "That's perfect, unchanged, happy for you to use that in your marketing. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so very much." That will be so much quicker than actually asking them to write it and then feeling like you have to chase them up in order to get that testimonial for them. And that's just another form of ickiness when you're chasing something that really is all about you and not about them. And if you get into the habit of asking for testimonials, you can really build up a great little show reel of evidence that highlights and proves the type of results that you can produce for your clients. Or if you're a product-based business, having these testimonials around the products that you're selling then tells other people how great those products are, and maybe you will make even more sales. Not even maybe, you will definitely make more sales on that product if there are testimonials around that product from previous purchases. So, next question, what do you write? How do you write a testimonial on behalf of someone? Well, first, let's make sure that you have written down what the outcome-driven focus is. Because let's face it, having a testimonial that says you're a nice person, you're easy to deal with, professional in your dealings, or pleasant to work with is nice, but it's unlikely to drive the desire to work with you. And that's the end result we want from a testimonial. Being friendly and easy to work with and professional are a buyer's minimum expectations. It's like having trustworthy on your resume. No one ever hired anyone who was untrustworthy. It's kind of that minimum expectations. So with the outcome driven focus that you want, your goal is to highlight the types of results working with you can produce to the person who's reading the testimonial. There are 5 key elements to a truly powerful and effective testimonial. So the 5 elements are: we need to state the problem. What was the problem they had before working with you? What's the implication? How long did they battle this particular problem before they started working with you? You need to demonstrate here how putting things off seldom works, and the sooner they act, the sooner they can have great results. The third point is the transformation. A good testimonial shows specific transitions and ideally will quantify exactly what size of impact you had. Make it as make it as outcome specific as you can. You could talk about they had a 50% jump in their revenue, or they hit 6 figures, or they doubled the size of their email list. Try and be specific as to what the transformation was that you created for the client who you worked with. Of course, you want to then state the outcome. What outcome did you provide for your clients that you're writing this testimonial for? Perhaps they went from feeling trapped to feeling liberated. Perhaps they went from invisible to invincible. And maybe they went from out of control to creating a business that works for their business and their life that they've actually always wanted. This is actually part of the testimonial that should demonstrate that with professional guidance with you, you can quickly turn around things fast and really start building the business that you want, or the business that they want. Because remember, we're writing it on their behalf. The 5th element is that it needs to be accompanied by their details. So having ownership over a testimonial is super, super important. And I know this is probably not a step you would skip anyway, but having a testimonial which is fantastic, that's written by J. Smith or M. Jones or something like that, just makes it a little bit less credible. So try and have either their name and their business name, or a photo of them with their name and their business name, something that just creates that credibility. Certainly having a photo of the person who gave you the testimonial is a really good thing, because humans interact with humans, H to H marketing. And if we can see that they are a real human who have said these real things about you, we are even more likely to believe just how truly wonderful you are. So now you've written 4 to 5 testimonials for your clients. They are amazing, and hopefully they will help drive you more business. But what do you do with them? Now you've got these great testimonials. Where do you put them? What do you do with them? How do you use them in your marketing? Well, probably the biggest piece of advice I could give you is testimonials need to be integrated, not isolated. So don't have a testimonials page on your website. Firstly, I think it's vain. And secondly, have a look at your analytics. How many people actually click on that page to read it, and what's the bounce rate? Because it's not a page about them. It's a page about you. And what's everyone's favorite subject? Themselves, not you. So having a testimonial page, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, is actually not a good thing to have on your website. Don't know about SEO. This is just purely from a human to human marketing point of view. But testimonials should be 100% on your website, but they should be on every page of your website, not just one specific page. And in fact, they should be where the eyes are actually looking. So if you have a sales page, have some testimonials thread through there. On your About You page, have some testimonials thread through there. Put these testimonials in all sorts of different pages on your website, because a testimonial is designed to demonstrate your expertise, provide evidence of the results you produce, build trust in your services. And none of this is possible if testimonials are just hidden away on one page that rarely gets any clicks or any eyeballs. As I mentioned earlier, testimonials actually make really good Facebook and Instagram ads, remembering that the best ads don't look like ads. And again, other people saying how great you are gives you much quicker results than you saying how great you are. So use testimonials in your ad copy, in your email copy, in your social media captions, in your about section on Facebook and LinkedIn, and on your website, like I said before. Just about everywhere you want to move the needle closer to a sale. Some people ask me about video testimonials and should they get those from clients. My answer is yes and no. Fence sitter yet again. Look, I guess I work with lots and lots of small business owners, and I can tell you that getting them in front of a camera is probably one of the biggest barriers they have for their social media content. That whole human to human marketing, getting in front of the camera is really hard for them. So if they can't do it for their own social media, asking them to do it as a favor for you, I'm not sure that's going to happen. So just be really aware about asking for video testimonials, because again, you can't write them yourself and you can't deliver that exact outcome that you actually want by asking for the testimonial in the first place, like we discussed a little bit earlier. I found the best video testimonials actually come from live presentations, like if you're doing a live presentation or you're at an event and you can actually grab people while they're there, they're in the moment, can you leave me a video testimonial? That works really quite well, but in general, asking for video testimonials, I think you will struggle because so many small business owners don't want to get in front of the camera for their own purposes, never alone to help you out. And if you get one, of course, a video testimonial, make sure you do add captions to it. And of course, you can transcribe it, which means you can use it in other areas of your marketing that perhaps a video testimonial won't be appropriate to do. So now you've listened to all of this and you should do it, but maybe you're feeling a little bit anxious or odd about reaching out to clients, asking for testimonials. So I have a solution. Blame me. I'm quite happy to take the blame for this. So if you're feeling uneasy or uncomfortable, tell them you're working with a business coach who's talk to you about gathering testimonials, and it's part of a course that you're doing, and you can't turn up next week to listen to next week's podcast if you haven't actually done it. If that makes you feel more comfortable and gives you an excuse to reach out, then hey, I'm happy to take one for the team. I'm happy to help you on your continued success by gathering testimonials. So just blame me and tell them that I told you you had to do it. I would just really like you to get over the barrier of feeling uneasy about doing it. Trust me, they don't feel that way. Only you feel that way. And finally, like I said at the very start, if you want to get more testimonials, then really start giving more testimonials. I'm sure as business owners and just as human beings who do shopping, that some people have impressed you over the last 6 months, 1 month, last week. So get into the habit of giving testimonials. And of course, if we're reaching out to 3 to 5 clients to ask for one, let's give 3 to 5. Practice writing them as yourself and give those outcomes to other people who you've worked with lately, who have really helped you and exceeded your expectations. So write one, an email, or go further than that and leave a Google My Business review or give them a Facebook review. Remember, we're going to give love to get love. And we all know that that's one of my mottos. So if you want more testimonials, show the universe that you're willing to give more testimonials. All right, guys, that is all for episode 98. Testimonials are so important. Something I haven't talked about a lot on this podcast, which is pretty unbelievable to think that I've got to 98 episodes and haven't really spoken much about testimonials. But for me, they are a critical piece of your marketing. And if you don't have any, start getting them. And if you find that people send you DMs, about how great you are or thank you so much and things like that, start screenshotting them and then, tailoring them and writing them for your client, and then go back to them and say, hey, just wondering if I could use this as a testimonial. I got this DM from you, but I would really like to use it in other ways. I'm sure people are just going to say, yep. If they're really happy with what you've done, they're not going to hesitate. All right, guys, that's it. That is really it for episode 98. I will be back next week, next Thursday, and we are on episode 99. I hope you all have a fabulous week. I don't know what I'm going to do for episode 100, but it better be good, right? If you're enjoying this podcast, then hey, I'd love you to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode, and maybe even share it with another superstar business owner who's doing that daily grind and would really appreciate someone making their business life a little bit simpler. If you have a chance to leave a rating and a review, I would super appreciate that as well. Thanks so much to Spud Murphy Australia, or Spud Murphy Oz, who left me a really great review on Apple Podcast. They said, I just came across your brilliant podcast, Jen. My first episode was number 94. I'm off to listen to the rest, and I'm off to thin out my LinkedIn connections. Thanks so much, Spud Murph Oz. Super excited that you left me that review. And yes, please let me know how you go with thinning out those LinkedIn connections. For anyone who didn't listen to episode 94, then head back over there and hear from our sales guru all about making money on LinkedIn. It was a super great episode. Anyway, guys, I will see you back here next Thursday. Let's get social on social. If we aren't already there, you can hang out in my like-minded business owners Facebook group, or of course we can hang out on Instagram or LinkedIn, of course, as well. But whatever you do, my small business peeps, remember, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
Say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.